Hello, my name is Kiera Deal, and I'm going to talk about behaviorism and social learning theories. On my introduction, I'm looking back at the research, the stats, and the classes that I'm taking right now, and I realized that behavioralism, social learning, is very wide and broad subject matter. But the main thing that I've noticed about this class is that it's had three major, huge sides to behaviorism. And also, I can't really find an article that is up to date from 2017. I can only find one that's from 2016. If anything, I need recent evaluations and for it to be closer to my hometown, my state of Texas. My introduction is continued, and what I feel that from chapter 2 in the book by Driscoll, it talks about radical behaviorism, which is the three topics we're going to talk about today. The summary is going to start with the first few are the core behaviorism. The first one is learning, which is the result of experience. In the movie where the lecturer said Watson also said that he could train anyone to be what he wanted them to be. Too many people think there is no human nature. The second one that the lecturer also mentioned was anti-mentalism, which means that emotions are not science-based. Summary continued. The final one is behaviors think there are no interesting differences across species. Some behaviors think that we are all the same. Monkeys, animals in general, and humans. The only difference is the humans are richer and have better access compared to the animals. The behaviors believe that we could all be on the same playing field if the species could walk on 2 feet instead of four, which basically meaning we have no differences. My critique is habituation is what you'll get used to in the real world. This is a way of learning. The question that had me guessing and thinking a whole lot is what the lecturer said in the video. What if you never get used to it? It won't be learned. So how can you learn from it if you never get used to it? You're going to get tired of getting the same trick over and over again, even though you just had it popped up in your face 30 seconds ago. There are two types of conditioning that I found out, and it's classical and just basic conditioning. Classical conditioning is what you're used to and can spot right off the bat. I can spot any smell from a mile away. And did you know that you can have over 10,000 smells and tastes? No matter how long you smelled it or tasted it, you know what it is and what it tasted like. Also, there is a condition for remembrance of the brain. The other condition is what you have to learn from experience. Example, fear, sadness. Well, we have to learn from our emotions. We have to go through something where there is small or huge in our lives to get this type of experience. Once you have it, it's kind of hard to put it in the back of your brain, but if you do put it in the back of your brain, you will remember it very well because you've already experienced it. This is a type of conditioning that most to all humans have. All of these goes with social learning as well, because you have to brave the big bad world and you have to know what type of social norms there is for the outside world. Critique part two is that for speaking of social skills, my kids have to learn very big basic social skills in the classroom. They have to learn to not only get along with others, but to feel sadness, to feel happiness, to feel pride, to feel fear, not to feel fear in the classroom, but they know that if they do get in trouble, they're going to fear that the teacher is going to talk to their parents and fear that they're going to get a consequence at home. So they will feel fear for raising their hand in the classroom, not being friends with another person, and knowing what types of food they are having because of the repetition. The students have all habituation mode because they come in, they know what they're going to do. My kids know what they're going to do. They're going to write in their planner. They come in every time they turn to the page. They know what they need to write. They know where their pencils are. They know where the pencil sharpener is. They know where everything is in my classroom. So they're kind of used to the pace, the repetition, and everything else. They know where their papers are. They know where, just in case they miss a day, they know where their papers are. They know where other people's papers are just to help them. They know where certain things are in my classroom. And my thing is that you can learn the same way over and over again. Repetition, repetition every day. This demonstrates the habituation. And the students show behaviorism and social norms in school every day, and they have to go by a certain social norm that lets them make it through the day. My last critique is that I feel that emotions are science-based. I feel that if you hurt, either emotionally, physically, that you're going to feel a type of emotion, and that is something that's going to be learned. So that way, you know not to do it again, or you learn to pace yourself so that way you can learn from it long term or short term. In conclusion, so once again, habituation is something you have to get used to in the real world. This is a way of learning. We learn about the two types of conditioning. We also learn about what we learn from experience and what the kids have learned also in my classroom, repetition over and over again with the type of routine patterns working, social learning with the kids outside, whether they're on the playground or at recess or even at lunch. They have to learn to deal with those social typical norms. So I do have some things that are going to be recommended. The first thing I would possibly do is to test out the theories with video so I can see it visually for myself. This is the internet generation, and what better hypothesis than to test it multiple times? Not only just to test it multiple times, but to actually visually see it for myself multiple times. And also, one thing I learned about is that they like to test on species, especially dogs. If we could get species on other pets, maybe something besides dogs and rats, maybe something another type of species would be okay with me. And how about we test other people in different parts of their lives? For example, we could test kids uh, because they're most likely to repeat what they what they've learned, and also they can soak things up like a sponge. So I would start maybe at maybe age 2 and go to age 8 to see on a certain topic and the responses we receive between different age brackets. These are my references. This is the supporting video that I was telling you guys about. It's a very big video, a very huge video. I watched it 2, 3 times. And also I have a supporting article that goes along with cognitive development and functioning, which goes greatly with behaviorism and social learning. All right, y'all. That's all, folks. Like the Looney Tunes Porky Pig said, that's all, folks. You guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed this PowerPoint, and I hope you see my critical review very well. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. Thank you so very, very much. Good night.